Hello friends, and welcome to Webronaq. Picture this. Your team ships an AI agent, users love it, and then the bill arrives. In 2026, the State of FinOps report found that for teams running AI workloads at scale, model inference had climbed to 18% of total cloud spend, and 73% of those teams said their AI costs blew right past their original budget. Nobody planned for that. Now picture Google's answer, dropped just yesterday, on July 21, 2026. They released Gemini 3.6 Flash, a new model that cuts output token pricing by 16.7% compared to the previous Gemini 3.5 Flash, and at the same time, uses 17% fewer output tokens to do the same work. Lower price and fewer tokens. That combination is rare, and in this video we are going to show you exactly how much it saves on real agentic workloads. Alright, so why do AI agents cost so much more than a regular chatbot? It comes down to tokens. Every time you call a language model, you pay for what goes in and what comes out. Output tokens cost 3 to 10 times more than input tokens across all major providers. A chatbot just answers one question. An agent loops. It reasons, calls a tool, gets the result, rereads the full conversation context, then reasons again for the next step. Every loop generates a fresh round of output tokens. The growing context history gets resent on each step too, so input costs compound as well. A task that a chatbot finishes in one shot might take an agent 8 or 10 steps, pushing your token bill up by that same multiple. That multiplier is why agent costs spiral, and it sets up the real question. How much cheaper is Gemini 3.6 Flash? Exactly. Here is the interesting part. Gemini 3.6 Flash delivers two savings that stack. First, the output price drops from $9 to $7.50 per million tokens. That is a 16.7% cut. Second, the model emits 17% fewer output tokens to do the same work per the Artificial Analysis Index. Stack those two factors, and your effective cost per agentic task falls about 31%. Here is what that looks like concretely. Say your pipeline burns 10 million output tokens every day. At the old Gemini 3.5 Flash rate of $9 per million, that is $90 a day. Switch to Gemini 3.6 Flash, and 17% fewer tokens at the new rate brings that daily bill to about $62. Same tasks done, roughly $28 saved every day. And that saving holds whether your agent scores high on benchmarks or not, which is exactly what we look at next. Alright, so how do you actually apply this in your pipeline? The routing decision comes down to 3 tiers. For complex agentic coding, multi-step reasoning, and anything that needs real precision, you use Gemini 3.6 Flash. That is $7.50 per million output tokens, and it handles the hard work efficiently. For high-volume simple steps, like classification, entity extraction, or document tagging, you drop down to Gemini 3.5 Flash-Lite. That is $2.50 per million output tokens, and it runs at 350 tokens per second, which is faster than the standard Flash tier. You can see exactly this logic at work in a real case from April 2026. A growth stage SaaS company routed its agent tasks by complexity and cut its monthly AI bill from $87,000 to $24,000 in a single month. Same product, same features, just smarter routing. And the one-line code change that makes all of this possible is what we wrap up with now. Now here is the part that actually changes how you pick a model. On paper, Gemini 3.6 Flash scores 49% on deep SWE, up from 37%. On MLE Bench, it jumps from 49.7% to 63.9%. Those are real, meaningful gains in coding and machine learning research tasks. But here is what makes this interesting. On the Artificial Analysis Intelligence Index, which tracks raw reasoning across the whole field, Gemini 3.6 Flash scores 50 points. That is identical to Gemini 3.5 Flash. It is not a smarter model. It is a more efficient one. For agent workloads, the model takes fewer reasoning steps and fewer tool calls per task. Google reports up to 65% fewer output tokens on deep SWE specifically. Fewer steps to the right answer means a smaller bill. For most production agents, that efficiency edge matters far more than a leaderboard number. So how do you use that edge in your actual architecture? That is the routing decision, and it is coming up next. Let me show you how simple the starting point is. You change one string. Where your code says Gemini 3.5 Flash, you write Gemini 3.6 Flash. That single swap captures the 31% compound saving we walked through. 16.7% lower output price times 17% fewer tokens emitted. Then you add a second route in your pipeline. Send classification, extraction, and any simple high-volume steps to Gemini 3.5 Flash-Lite at $2.50 output. The SaaS team that made exactly that move went from $87,000 a month to $24,000. Here is the mental model worth keeping. Google has already confirmed that Gemini 4 pre-training has begun. Every new generation will reset the benchmarks. But the habit of routing by complexity and minimizing output tokens will save you money on every model that ever ships. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.